There's a feeling you might recognize. It starts as excitement, anticipation, a pull so strong it feels like fate. Your heart races when they text. You feel alive in their presence. The intensity is unlike anything you've experienced before. It must be love, right? It must be chemistry. It must be the one. But what if it's not attraction you're feeling? What if it's activation? For nervous systems accustomed to unpredictability, calm can feel unfamiliar. If you grew up in an environment where love was inconsistent, where affection was conditional, where approval had to be earned, where safety was never guaranteed, your nervous system learned to associate anxiety with connection, not consciously, but deeply. So in adulthood, when you meet someone who's inconsistent in their communication, unclear about their intentions, available sometimes, distant others, warm one day, cold the next, your nervous system doesn't register this as misalignment. It registers it as familiar, and familiar feels like home, even when home was never safe. Trauma bonds don't begin as pain. They begin as excitement, as intensity, as a feeling you can't quite name but can't seem to walk away from. You tell yourself it's chemistry, passion, a deep connection, but what you're actually experiencing is your nervous system on high alert, trying to predict, manage, and secure something that was never stable to begin with. This is not attraction. This is activation. Attraction is calm interest. Activation is anxious obsession. Attraction makes you curious. Activation makes you vigilant. Attraction feels good. Activation feels consuming. Here's how trauma bonds develop. Someone gives you just enough to keep you hopeful, but not enough to feel secure. They're warm and present when they choose to be, distant and unavailable when it suits them. They create a cycle: pursuit, reward, withdrawal, repeat. And your nervous system, it interprets this as a puzzle to solve, a challenge to win, proof that if you just try harder, do better, be more, you'll finally secure the consistency you crave. But you won't, because the inconsistency is the point. The intermittent reinforcement is what keeps you hooked. And the more you chase, the more you mistake the adrenaline of pursuit for the depth of connection. Women in trauma bonds often describe their relationships in specific ways. I've never felt this way about anyone before. The connection is so intense. When it's good, it's incredible. I just can't seem to let go. And they're not lying. The intensity is real, but intensity is not intimacy. Drama is not depth. Anxiety is not attraction. What they're experiencing is a nervous system trying to complete an old pattern, trying to earn the love that was always conditional, trying to secure the safety that was never guaranteed. And every time the person pulls away and then comes back, it reinforces the bond, not because it proves love, but because it reactivates the wound. Now think about the opposite, someone who's consistent, who communicates clearly, who doesn't make you guess where you stand, someone who's available, emotionally present, who doesn't create chaos to keep you interested. If you're used to trauma bonds, this person might feel boring, too easy, not exciting enough, like something's missing. But what's actually missing isn't chemistry, it's anxiety. And your nervous system has learned to interpret the absence of anxiety as the absence of connection. This is the tragedy of trauma bonds. They make peace feel like indifference, stability feel like boredom, calm feel like lack, So you walk away from what's healthy because it doesn't feel like love, even though it's the closest thing to real love you've encountered. Healing is not losing chemistry. It's unlearning anxiety as attraction. It's recognizing that the racing heart isn't excitement, it's stress. The constant thinking isn't connection, it's hypervigilance. The intensity isn't passion, it's panic. Healing means learning to sit with calm, to tolerate consistency, to allow someone to be steady without interpreting it as disinterest. It means trusting that real love doesn't require you to chase it. Real connection doesn't make you question it. Real partnership doesn't activate your nervous system, it regulates it. Recalibration takes time. Because if your nervous system has spent years associating love with anxiety, peace will feel wrong at first. You might self-sabotage healthy connections because they don't create the familiar adrenaline rush. You might create drama where there isn't any, just to feel something. You might walk away from someone good because the absence of chaos feels like the absence of chemistry. But recalibration means you stay anyway. You sit with the discomfort of calm. You allow peace to become familiar. And over time, your nervous system learns. Safety can feel like love. Consistency can feel like care. Calm can feel like home, not because you forced it, but because you gave yourself space to relearn what connection actually is. Here's how to tell the difference. Trauma bonds make you anxious. Real connection makes you calm. Trauma bonds make you chase. Real connection allows you to rest. Trauma bonds make you question your worth. Real connection affirms it. Trauma bonds are consuming. Real connection is nourishing. Trauma bonds require constant management. Real connection allows you to just be. If you're constantly trying to secure, predict, or earn someone's presence, that's not love. That's your nervous system trying to solve an old wound with a new person. Intensity is not the same as intimacy. Anxiety is not the same as attraction. And the most peaceful connection you've ever had might actually be the realest. You're not broken for feeling pulled toward chaos. You're conditioned, and conditioning can be unlearned. Healing doesn't mean you'll never feel chemistry again. It means you'll stop confusing activation with connection. You'll recognize the difference between someone who makes your heart race because they're inconsistent and someone who makes your heart race because they're present. One keeps you anxious, the other keeps you safe. And the moment you learn to choose safety, everything changes. Not because you settled, but because you finally understood what you were actually looking for.